On to chapter 3. Your blade, my heart. Hey!
Excellent.
Great. Do it again. One yells as he breaks up my hold on his arm. Okay. Based on the training he's picked up within the last few weeks, moved on from sword wielding and now focusing on hand-to-hand combat. Somehow imagining, despite the nagging feeling in my head every time he puts his hands on me. Reminds me of that night when he guided his hands on my body, sat with each other, my hands on his. Been thinking about that night a lot, actually. I still remember how his fingers trailed down my arm, how his snug his hands felt once he secured them around my waist. It was as if they were the perfect accompaniment. And how his eyes twinkled so beautifully under the full moon when he finally gave me a smile. No smirk or a cocky grin, but an authentic smile. My flowers died a couple weeks ago, all of them wilted. Till I can get my hands on a new bouquet, I think back to that time under the moonlight with Ramon. Gives me the same sense of serenity. Aw, cute. Fucking laugh. But yeah, it's a pity that we haven't seemed to add any more cute little moments like that, which is a shame. Although we had to focus on our training, though. But good. Hold this touch, he may actually choke someone out. Maybe we could do that later. But it's only supposed to be a hold. Is that really a good thing? I don't want to disarm them, maybe weasel some info out of them. Can't do the latter if they're unconscious. I let Ramon free my hold. He straightens up before adjusting his collar. Well, you can always interrogate them when they wake up. And you can steal their belongings. Put my hand to her chest and feign shock. So, Dale, how could you suggest such callous behavior? I believe it's already embarrassing enough to get choked out by Prince X Solus from the Dominion of Solus, who has only a month of training under their belt. Surely we can spare them some mercy and let them keep their supplies. 'Tis the rules of battle. If you're bold enough to attack your opponent, make sure to actually finish the job. Otherwise, winner spoils. You're lucky, that is. A steady old voice and the casual shrug of his shoulders sounds like he's been on the winning end of those battles quite frequently. Noted. I saw him smile.
What?
What are you thinking about? Just how fun it would be to wield Alexander next time we review holds is all. Build up enough muscle that I can hold that sword up with the same honor you do. Cracks a smile. Ghost of the one I saw that night. Been doing that a lot more, actually. Feels like I finally unlocked one of the many heavy chain locks closing off his heart, but... As a plain, I let you, Your Highness. If you have such ambitions, then we'll need to spar, so I can truly test your skill and determination to wield him. I am still locked out. There are so many questions left to be answered. I want to finally unlock that door so I can fully be let in. Questions like, why is his sword named Alexander? Why is that sword so precious to him? What's happened to him in the past that's molded him into the man he is today? But let's save that for another day. There aren't any watchful eyes. Are you afraid I'll embarrass you? Quite the opposite. A cocky grin his way and put a hand on my hip. And what's the hold up? Sure, a fellow knights would appreciate you being the one looking up at the sun for once. Big words coming from someone who, with just a month of training under their belt. You are the one training me, Sir Dale. Don't forget that. Who knows? Maybe I'll surprise you. Now sheath his sword.
Let's go.
Fine. If you're that eager to steal my trusted blade from me, then by all means, try. Alright, Richard, let's show everyone what you can do. Rush up to Raymond and attempt to grab his arm like I've been doing all week. But he manages to slide out of the way. We'll need to be faster than that. Fine then. Turning my heel and lunging him, hastily wrap my arm around his dominant arm in an attempt to tire it out, make him drop the heavy sword. Just hang off of it like a monkey while he thrashes about. That's when I feel his left hand lightly graze my thigh accidentally, as he snakes one arm through my lock to free his other. My rules back to that night, his hot touch trailing down my arms, how he soft encouraging whispers transported me to another world when I felt important. Hands on my waist and how I just so casually let him grip it when he was afraid to touch me. If I had closed the distance between us that night, what would have happened?
Listen up.
Now's not the time for daydreaming, Redshirt. And just to break the sloppily done hold with ease. Shoots me off with his shoulder. I'm too slow to react. To catching myself and my body falls back. Panic sets in on my opponent's face.
Your Highness.
Redshirt. And he lunges for me. Puts his arm around my head and we both fall down together. Oh, hello there. I think I could get used to this for you. Opening my eyes, I look to see Ramon on top of me as he quickly scans me for any injuries. Particularly, I feel his hand caress the back of my head, examining for any open wounds. When he doesn't find any bumps or warm blood pulling out of my head, he breathes a sigh of relief.
Thank the goddess Foxfur, you're alright.
Poke fun of him, thank him, or stare. Now we'll thank him. Thank you, Sir, but, why did you catch me? I'm not a person in need of saving. Now I can take hits and fall just like the others.
I know that.
Face changes, like there's a storm of feelings in his body that are all at conflict with each other. Questions that he can't quite answer yet. Or he can and is too afraid to come to terms with those answers.
I just acted without thinking. I saw you falling and I panicked, okay? I apologize.
I shake my head. It's quite alright. Wipe a bit of dirt off his face, cupping his cheek and smiling at him. Appreciate your act of kindness nonetheless. Those cheeks heat up as they're dusted with a shade of light pink. It's barely noticeable under the sunlight, but from where I'm at, I can see it alongside the finer details of Ramon's face. Soldiers begin to surround the training area as they stare. One even whistles. Ramon grits his teeth.
I swear to the goddess above. Stop gawking and get back to work, the lot of ya!
Everyone scurries away quickly, afraid of Ramon's wrath and whatever punishment he might throw down if they dared disobey. Ramon stands up and outstretches his hand to me. Take it without a moment's hesitation. Thank you again, Sir Dale, and I promise I won't get distracted again. Well, Lexi, I can't promise that. She's his sword. We'll see. Crosses his arm and glances back at the exit.
Your Highness.
Now, I know you're eager to continue on with your training, but I must cut our session short today. I feel my stomach get queasy. Did something happen? Take a step forward and put a hand on his arm. His attention immediately diverts back to me. Is something going on? Face relaxes and he smiles softly at me.
Yes.
No need to fret, Your Highness. Simply need to run an errand in the city. Here's pick up on the mere mention of the city. It's been a month and some change since I last visited due to my schedule being filled to the brim with training. The free time I had was spent resting. Wake up, eat, train, eat again, wash up, sleep. Repeat. Be nice to break out the monotony for once and do something fun. And maybe, after my time with Mon, I can withstand the people and their gossiping. Mind if I come with? Gives me a quizzical look, so I shoot him a playful wink and smile to try and sway him. Erin's much more enjoyable company, wouldn't you say? Stares at me for a moment, weighing out the decision in his mind. Should he take me, Prince Ex Solitus, for a nice day out in the city with the day's training becoming a distant memory? Should he keep me here where our relationship becomes crystal clear, nothing more than a mentorship? Is that something you truly want? A day out with me? I wouldn't consider myself or taking care of errands fun. Catch myself really realizing that it's not just us here in the training grounds. I mean, Sir Dale, I love being around you, so please, let me be the judge of what's fun and what isn't. Cheeks take on a noticeable red colour. He turns away, letting out a forced cough. If that's what you truly desire, then who am I to deny the Prince X of their wish? Great, let me get changed first and then we can get going. I'll be quick so you can get to the city and make it back home before the sun sets. He nods and I rush off to my bedroom to quickly get changed into my everyday attire. Tunic with a long open vest and pants. Takes a bit longer than I'd like. Maybe it was because I was rushing, but I found myself getting tangled up and tripping over my leather training armor. As soon as I get into my normal clothes, I run out of my room and back out onto the training field without a moment to waste. Mon is standing there, patiently waiting for me to arrive. As soon as he sees me, the two of us head out the castle gates and head out onto the short walk for the city of Edton. Managed to turn a few heads on our way out, but like Ramon, keep my eyes forward and do my best to pay them no heed. When we're outside the soldiers, I take the opportunity to speak. My chance to learn more about Raymond, but the question is, what do I ask? I had to be honest, there's one question that's been nagging me for some time. Yeah. Why is your sword named Alexander? Ramon, do you mind quenching my curiosity? Depends on what it's pertaining to. There are some stories I'd rather take to my grave. With my hand on my chest, I playfully gasped. How did you know I was going to ask you about the most embarrassing story from your youth? Maybe because everyone else who was an eyewitness to such a tale has long since retired from the army and can't be found in Edton. Oh, Ramon, thought you knew me better than that. Such a thought would never cross my mind. I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth. But seriously, it's something else. He quirks a brow. Your sword. Is there a reason you named it Alexander? That hand clutches the grip of his long sword tightly. I named it after someone special. A former comrade of mine. He perished in battle. This is the best way I could honor his memory. Hanging girl aches at my heart. Far look in his eye, and his body tensing up. It all reminded me of that night when he looked away from me. when he was talking about regret.
Don't let anyone, not your family, not the people of Edton, or your fears, stop you in your pursuit for happiness. Otherwise, you'll end up trapped in regret.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to reopen an old wound. Shakes his head before heaving out a sigh. You didn't. Many folks have asked me the same question before, and I've responded with the same kind of candidness. It's still a difficult subject to talk about, even after all these years. After all these years. Grief is such a tricky mistress. Well, I think you're honouring him wonderfully. Doubt clouds his mind, moon furrows his brow and grits his sword even tighter. Sometimes I question that. How can you? Master of that blade. Can you imagine how many folks you struck fear into with it? And if you want to view the other side of that coin, how the people you saved it with. Remember what you told me on our first day of training? How all your experiences, good or bad, helped you become the man you are today? He nods. That's why you're a grand knight, Ramon. Experiences have shaped you into someone who I believe is brutal but fair. Someone who is confident and compassionate. Someone I can trust. If I were Alexander, and knew you were wielding a blade named after me, I'd already be happy knowing it was you carrying on my legacy. Thank you, Richard. Tony is appreciative, and a ghost of a smile tugs at the corner of his lips. But it's clear that the subject, like you mentioned, is still a sensitive matter. I believe I heard a scholar say that time heals all wounds. I'm not sure if I believe that entirely. After all, the scars will always remain. Memories will always linger. And for Ramon, it's clear these memories, good and bad, weigh heavily on him. For a few seconds we walk together in silence. My brain tries to figure out how I can get his mind off the negative, even just for a moment. That's another round of questioning, maybe into something more light-hearted this time around. Ooh, okay, which one are we going for? Are you running around with your spouse? When did you enlist in the army? What did you do before joining the army? Let's go with the first one. Interested. Are you potentially open? Well, I'm assuming so. Trying to close my eyes, all I see is Ramon. As badly as I want to cross that threshold, the last thing I want it to be is a homewrecker. Ruin anyone's happiness. Especially Ramon's and anyone whom he holds dear. So it'll be smart to ask him if he's already spoken for. Though I need to ask in a roundabout way. So, running errands for your spouse? Ramon looks at me, flabbergasted as if I'd just smacked him or done something just as egregious. What? Was it that weird of a question?
What?
Firstly, errands are personal. Secondly, when did I give you the impression that I'm married? Though it's the answer I was hoping to hear, I'm still taken aback by it. So he isn't taken, but... Ramon, not married? How? You aren't?
No.
As being married to a job counts, then no, and single, and that's by choice. Made sure to emphasize that it was his choice, with a very strong tone. Shoves his gloved hand into his pocket and looks out to the view of the city that's growing bigger with every step we take. Being in the army, constantly away from family for unknown periods of time. While it may work with some, I've seen it cause irreparable rest with others. Personally, I wouldn't wish to burn my spouse with unnecessary heartache. They deserve to be happy and free instead of being anxious, wondering if I'm going to come home every night, or sleep in a cold bed that's a size too big for them. Can't help but picture Ron doing the same during the downtime. Him coming home every day to an empty house, no one to talk to, sleeping in a bed that could be much more comfortable with someone else in it. Maybe that's the life he wants to live. If so, I can make peace with that. But if he's doing it out of only pure selflessness, then is that really okay? Causing my lips tug downwards as I look at Ramon, a man resigned to the life he's living. Does it ever get lonely being by yourself? That's when he stops dead in his tracks and looks at me carefully. And that eye of his, seeing contemplating, and as he does, hurt flickers across his face. It was as if a memory of the past, like a love that could have been, resurfaced. Some days, yes, other days not so much. Didn't like the latter much better. I see. So sorry. How not to grimace upon hearing that. How often do the good days occur? What about the bad? What kind of day is he having today? Did it change once I pried in a little too deep? Not your fault, it's just life. Strange awkwardness lingers in the air. It makes me feel sick. Damn it, so much for trying to make him feel better. Should switch topics before. What about you, Redshirt? Before I can ask him one of my other questions, Ramon takes the helm and unknowingly does my job for me. Me? You want to know about my ventures with romance? It's only fair I ask the same, since you're so oddly curious about my love life, or lack thereof. Do you have a betrothed? Question almost makes me laugh. That seems to lighten the mood because Ron's face brightens up a bit as well. A betrothed? I'm not Atlas, so no. Don't have one as of yet. Then allow me to rephrase my question. Have you ever had a lover? No, I've never had one. There was someone. Been with a few people that I doubt my family would ever approve of. There was someone. Face pops up vividly in my mind as if they'd been in my arms only yesterday. A radiant smile, long, flowy black hair that never got tangled. How they snorted whenever they laughed and in turn made me snort. Elegant they looked no matter how they dressed. I think I met them inside a large ballroom filled to the brim with other nobles dressed just as immaculately as them. Event was nothing out of the ordinary, just your standard run-of-the-mill party hosted by Duke Nella Margrave. No rhyme or reason for it. It was all so he could get drunk and show off his wealth. Yet, for some reason, Max stuck out of the same boring old crowd. Locked eyes and they waved at me with that adorable smile. Like an angel descended from the heavens, I was the only one who was graced with their presence. I was feeling with melancholy, just reminiscing about the old times.
My apologies.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking? We grew apart, they cheated on me. They couldn't support me when I needed it most. Yeah, we grew apart. Once turned into a year, and then two, and then differences, once minor contrast that any couple would have became stark. Our path that we were taking on together started to split into two, where we tried so desperately to hang on to each other despite the widening gap. So first our relationship seemed so perfect. They seemed so perfect. But they wanted one thing and I wanted another. Weekly visits ended up becoming monthly obligations. Dragged it out instead of putting an end to it. Would have been better to just put us out of our misery then. instead of hoping for the best. But we thought that despite the changes to our lives and our differences, we could make it work because we loved each other. But because we refused to see the writing on the wall, death of our relationship was slow, agonizing one that we could never recover from. Whenever we'd done things differently, we would still be talking. I felt a heavy hand on my shoulder. I listened to my side and see Ramon standing there with worry etched on his features.
Your Highness.
Are you okay? I tried to shrug it off with a forced smile, but my body can't quite do it. I feel my lips just make whatever shit they do, and oddly, I'm okay with that, given the current company I'm with. I'll be okay. It's a lesson learned. When I get into another relationship, I won't repeat the same mistakes. Squeezed my shoulder reassuringly. That's a healthy way to go about it. Thanks. That's all you can really do, right? Just try to move on the best you can. I see something flicker on Ramon's face, gone with the casual demeanor in its place with something I thought I'd never see on him. Shock and fear, as if he'd been caught in a lie. Certainly. His reply didn't have the same gumption his voice usually carried. I am carefully hoping to find more. But when his eye catches mine, Luke does in an affirmative nod to emphasize his agreement. Ramon, do you have looked behind that heart of yours that you don't want anyone else seeing? Two of us continue our walk towards Edton, side by side, in contemplative silence. Okay, we are now in Edton. Stepping foot into the city, we are greeted by the typical sight one would see when entering the peaceful, prospering settlement of Edton. Street vendors are spread throughout the cobblestone roads, and their owners are bartering with the potential customers. People are walking down the pathways, sure to step off to the side for the muscled folk carrying in today's shipment from the seaport. And of course there's always a group of kids playing and running around, occasionally bumping into a random housewife who isn't afraid to scold them. For a minute, I feel lost in the crowd, part of them. But that moment is short-lived once a teenager accidentally bumps into me. She turns her head my way, and whispers something to a friend. Notice her point at me, then at Ramon. Ina spoke carefully. What is she whispering about? Could be an innocent question. After all, never been to Edton with Ramon before. Only ever a handful of guards, one of the maids, or my entire family. But what if it isn't? I start to the ground, finding much more comfort there than with the people. Does she think I'm so incompetent that the Grand Knight had to lower himself? I tell myself and shake my head as if I'm trying to knock these asinine thoughts out of me. No, he isn't lowering himself me. What the hell am I thinking? We're here together because we want to be together. Tell me I'm good. I need to believe in myself. Though I try to steel myself, my mind continues to linger on that young woman, whatever she could have whispered. Could have been a simple observation, or spreading a scandalous rumor. Who knows? Hands are shaking and they're starting to sweat. Though I try, I can't keep my gaze at eye level. Cobblestone pathway and my feet are much easier to look at than people's faces.
Your Highness.
Feel someone, my companion, pinch my arm. Eyes shoot upward at him, and he has on a stoic, almost expressionless look. Don't say a word as we continue to look into each other's eyes for a brief moment. But in that short, wordless exchange, I understood what he's saying. Keep your head high. I got you. I know you can do this. Oh, you know I have to go for the second option. I can do this. I know I can. I need some stability and comfort for a while until my mind calms down. So, Dio, can I ask a favor of you?
And what would that be?
Can I use you as support? I'm not feeling well. Thinks about it for a moment before offering his arm to me with a rejuvenating smile.
Hold on tight.
Hell yeah! Wrap my arm around his much bulkier one, and already I can feel a sense of ease wash over me. Thank you, said Dio. Walk together, side by side. Make sure to wave at the passerby who will smile and wave back. And my heart jumped for joy upon seeing their faces. Even the little kids are giddy to get some attention from me. Bit by bit, the anxiety and doubt I've been feeling melts away. Voices at the back of my head fall silent as something warm and fuzzy washes over my body. It's this feeling that I'd long been searching for, finally found with Ramon. Like a warm, heavy blanket being wrapped around your shoulders during a cold winter's night. Security, reassurance, love. I sneak a glance at Ramon, and my smile grows even wider. We're here. Eventually he pulls me aside to a small stall where a strong floral medicinal scent is emerging from. Person running the stall is an elderly half-orc who's still managing to hustle about despite the amount of customers swarming her, and the rest of the busy shopping district.
Hello.
Kiriki, do you have time to spare for your old friend? He turns towards us once Ramon's voice carries to her. Eyes light up almost immediately. She quickly finishes the current transaction with another customer before jogging over to us. Ramon, long time no see. I was wondering when I was going to see you again. Her ruby-colored eyes widen when she spots me next to him. Princess Solitus, to what do I owe the honor of this visit? Waving my hand in the air. No one is required. I simply accompanying Sir Dio on a shopping trip. But it's nice to make your acquaintance, Kiriki. She leans in close and smiles. Now, why is that? Old man's told me last month that you two had been training. So if he's forcing you to run errands for him because you misbehaved... We both share a laugh while Ramon playfully rolls his eyes. No, wrapped up earlier, and this is just for fun. I wanted to come with him. Eyes widen, she shoots at Ramon a curious glance. Not often do I see Ramon come to the city with a companion. Last time that happened was with Alexander. Ramon straightens up. Alexander, huh? Enough reminiscing about the past, Kiriki. I'm just here to pick up some turmeric. Do you have any stock? Of course I do. Always give a fresh stash for you, you know. Let me go grab it. She scurries off to the other side of her stall, which gives me ample time to look at the rest of her wares. Herbs, tea leaves, and flowers decorate every inch of her stall. Seems like she is an excellent source for medicine flowers. I wonder. When she returns, she's holding a small brown pouch. One digs into his coin purse and hands over 20 silver coins in exchange for the turmeric. Thank you, Kiriki. Don't know what I'd do without you. Rise in pain every day, that's what. Kiriki, don't suppose you have any, these types of flowers in stock, do you? Scratches her chin a bit. Perhaps. Maybe on the other side of my booth. Would you mind checking for me? These old bones aren't what they used to be, my dear. Sure thing, Kiriki. Hurry off to the other side, leaving Kiriki and Ramon alone. So, leans against the hardwood of the booth with a pierced brow raised. Ron crossed his eyes.
No.
Oh, he crossed his arms, not his eyes. Two
No.
very different body parts. Don't start. Don't say anything. You just getting yourself all rolled up, my friend. I know where you're going with this. A sly, silky tone coating your voice. Glint in your eye. Last time you acted like that was when Alexander was flinging his arm around your waist and you had that same bright smile on your lips as you did just moments ago. Yeah, I'm aware. Maybe old Ramon, but neither of our minds have gone just yet. Ron shifted uncomfortably on his feet as he turned his gaze away from Kiriki, further away from Redshirt. Was your aim back there? Which is him in front of them. So you haven't told them about him? I have, just not the full truth. Figured as much. That's why I brought him up. Maybe that'll finally give you the kick in the ass that you so desperately need. Kiriki looks at Redshirt, then back at Ramon. He smiles a tiny bit. Ramon, when you're around them, the light shines brighter.
What?
You've only seen us for, 5 minutes? She rolls her eyes. I've known you for more than half your life. I know what makes you tick. She leans forward, dropping a smile, furrowing her brows. His daily serious look is one that Ramon knows all too well. Are you going to continue to rob yourself of happiness, Ramon? Is that what you would have wanted? Ramon's heart rises in pain. He hadn't been dealing with it for over 20 years. He would have kneeled over right then and there. But he continued to stand tall and pretend that it didn't hurt. Pretend that he was okay. Even he hears the whispering. Pretend. Clutching his closed sleeves tightly as a way to release tension. Quick-paced footsteps approach, and both the medicinal seller and knight's attention are brought back to the Prince X. They run back empty-handed as Kiriki had expected them to. I couldn't find any. Kiriki frowns. Shoot. Could have sworn I had some. Do you know when you may get some in? Kiriki shakes her head. Not expecting to see any new shipments anytime soon. But with the journey to get them being so tiring, and the demand not being high. Face grimaces. Okay, that makes sense. Aren't those flowers in the mountains nearby? Kiriki nods. Flowers were in high demand, and they weren't bandits stinking out the place. Send my daughter or son to go make the trip. Shakes her head and my heart sinks a bit. Oh, sorry, Prince X. Right now, I can't afford to do that. Oh, it's fine. No need to apologize. Children's lives are much more important than a bouquet of flowers. Maybe I'll have some in stock in the coming months, once those idiotic bandits are finally dealt with. Maybe. We can only hope, right? Who knows if I'll even be alive then, or if the problem would have been dealt with. What are you up to, Ramon? Is he potentially plodding away there? What else do you need to get, Cedillo? Lifts up his pouch. No, nothing else. It's all we came here for. Oh, great. Then we'll be back home before sundown.
Your Highness.
Hold your horses, Your Highness. Don't have to go back immediately, do we? Don't know what there's time walking here. Why not enjoy the city a little longer before returning to the castle? Do you really mean that?
Let's go.
Yes, perhaps there's another forest that sells your decided flowers. That's a good point. Plus, can't say no to more time with Ramon. Then let's explore the city, Sir Dayor. Come on. We'll let both of us say goodbye to the wonderful Kiriki, and make a mental note to visit her again during my next trip to Edton. We then head off to browse the other vendors. You've seen us for 5 minutes. Here you are, wanting to spend more time with the Princex. Kirky watches as the pair disappears into the crowd. Hope you made the right decision, Ramon. For both your sakes. Can't keep playing with the idea of love if deep down you're terrified of committing to it. Hey, are you done blabbering over there? I've been waiting to buy your goods for forever now. Do you not want my money, Kirky? If you're gonna act like that, then no, I don't want your money. I have plenty of other customers who don't mind waiting as I tend to another. So go on, put your items down and try to find another shop that offers better prices than me. I wish you luck. Customer rolls his eyes but stubbornly holds on to his items. Kirky grins. That's what I thought. Sheesh. Matters are starting to become rarer by the day. And it's already nighttime. With the Edton has to offer, you'd think at least one shopper would have some of those flowers. Despite looking everywhere, we had no luck in finding it. Let out a sigh. Oh well. Mum looks at me with such pity as we leave Edton, and step forward on the dirt path heading back towards the castle. Why those flowers in particular? My bouquet died recently. I ordered it since I started training, which is a shame because they're my favorite flower. Plus, whenever I feel stressed after a big fight with my family, or I had a long tiring day, the scent would always calm me down. And well, you can't smell anything from dead flowers. Mom's footsteps are heavy and slow as we continue our march back home. What is he thinking, I wonder? The rest of the walk continues on in silence. Just when I'm about to say goodbye, Ron escorts me inside the castle, claiming to prepare us both some tea. That I should go wait in my room. Curious as to where this is heading, I comply. Head up towards the kitchen and I begin to walk towards the long spiral staircase. It's a fool's errand, and you know that, Atlas. A booming voice echoes out from the throne room, freezing my spot. Father? What's he doing up this late in the throne room? Business in there is usually long done by this point. How exactly is it foolish? Well, ask us that we postponed the wedding till both Lady Melina and I are ready. Alice's voice is equally as boisterous. It's at the doors to the throne room, which are slightly ajar. I have myself tiptoeing to it to get a better view of what's happening. We only met on a few occasions, hardly enough for time for us to really get to know one another. All I'm asking is for a little more time so I can understand what she wants out of this marriage. A man who's a few inches taller than Atlas sucks his teeth. What in the seven hells have you two been talking about during your visits then? Blasted weather? The conversation long overdue. Neither family should have to pay for your two's mistakes. Do you truly understand what the consequences are if we do postpone your wedding? As money and time wasted, people of our respective kingdoms will begin to lose faith in us. Honestly, it just sounds like you just want a way out of this. Alyssa's eyes widen and he takes a few steps back from father, as if he's been caught stealing cookies from a cookie jar. That isn't the case, correct? What if it is? What if we both don't want this marriage? Seeing his son cower, father relaxes his pointed stare and lets out a sigh. Fortunately, as king, you must make sacrifices, Atlas. And this right here is a worthy sacrifice to make. Do you know what a relationship with the Frostburn Kingdom will bring? Power, wealth, most importantly an ally. You need those because you never know what kind of world Utria will turn into in the years to come. But, no buts. Starting to sound like your sibling. Not like them, Atlas. Have a role to fulfill. There's no way out of it. Alice is trembling. Fessa balled up. Reminds me of myself when I was in the throne room last month, pleading with my parents to let me become a knight. Now, are you going to do what is asked of you? Atlas stares at the ground. Appears to be holding back tears as he bites his bottom lip. Atlas. A man I've envied all my life and wish I could just knock off his pedestal. Heartache seeing him in so much pain. Take a step forward. Stubborn and nosy. Let me jump out of my skin when I hear Ramon's voice behind me, saying there were 2 glass mugs. Annoyance clearly present on his face. Let's head up to your room before we give your father another thing to yell about. He does have a point. And I quietly stride up to my room, but as we head up the staircase, can't help but look back at the doors to the throne room, wondering how that conversation ended. Deep down, I already know. Go sit on the bed and Ramon hands me my cup of tea. Peppery smell wafting off of it. Take a sip and the taste of tea smacks me right in the mouth. It's pungent and a bit bitter. I cry from what I'm used to drinking. Pours and eye the orange liquid in my cup. Well, it's unique, that's for certain. Turmeric tea is an acquired taste, but I thought I'd let you try it anyway. Well, I appreciate you trying to expand my horizons, but I can't say I'm a fan of it. Take another meager sip. You put the time into brewing this for me, and it's something I can at least stomach, so I may as well finish it. Monk continues to stand, looking awkward as could be, though he doesn't seem to mind. Peek from my cup and eye him. You know you can sit down, right? I don't want to intrude. Give my Ted Pan expression. Really? That sounds like an excuse. You're in my room. If you're intruding, I would have stopped you the moment you suggested coming in here. Honestly, I don't mind you sitting on the edge of my bed. Pat the spot right next to me to show him I really mean it. He hesitantly takes a seat next to me, shifting about to get comfortable. Once he does, he takes a sip of his tea. Like me, his face doesn't recoil from the interesting blend tickling his taste buds. Rather, he lets out a soft moan. He rotates his shoulders a bit before taking another sip. So, this tea. Imagine you're drinking it only for the taste. Chuckles a bit before taking another huge gulp of it. Seriously, how can you do that? Only able to take tiny sips. It's for medicine rather than pleasure. Pauses for a moment, staring off into the distance. I've been going through a lot of pain as of late. Old wounds from past wars that haven't quite healed. So this is what I take to help reduce the pain. I'm sorry you're going through that, Ramon. Is there any way I can help? He nods. Do you mind if I show you? I think having someone see my body would help ease my mind a bit. And not at all. Oh, hello there. My god, are you fucking jacked? As me his cup and takes off his shirt, finally answering my long overdue question of what lies underneath. Holy hell of pecs. Jesus Christ, dude. Well-defined muscles showing that despite his age, Ramon is in peak condition. Oh, this is definitely peak, alright. There's some stretch marks as well as, indicating that he's pushed his body beyond its limits. But that's not what my focus lies on. Rather, my concern on his scars, all healed on the surface. Though I think his body is quite beautiful, no matter how many stretch marks or scars cover it. Knowing the pain he's in was tearing me apart. It's tearing me apart, Lisa. Asked to touch his scars. Fuck yeah. Trust, comfort, safety. That is what our relationship was founded on. Is it alright if I touch you? Turns his head to me and slowly nods.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Putting both our cups on my nightstand, turn back to him and reach out to the long blemish on his bicep. With his permission, my fingers trace a scar. Still flinches and I recoil, head across the boundary. Grabs my hand and tracks it back to where it once was.
My apologies.
No, it's fine. It's been a while since anyone that wasn't a doctor had laid their hands on me. You can continue. I gauge his face carefully, making sure he isn't pushing himself beyond his limits. When his eyes stay fixated on mine, all I do is nod and place my hand carefully back on the scar. When he relaxes into my touch, I know that I can keep going. Who could have caused this? Or with what? How much pain was Ramon in when he got it? So hard to tell, with how healed they are. I can't tell if this one is from decades ago or one he earned from a recent bout months ago. I look up at Raymond and his covered eye. I don't even dare ask him about that injury, but I can only imagine the visceral pain he went through when he received it. Then my eyes fall to the scars closer to his chest. The enemy's weapons went any deeper he could have. Tears broke out the corner of my eyes. Sitting right next to me, crying over a scenario that didn't happen. How strange is that? Am I crying because I'm happy he's here with me? Scarred but present and safe for the time being. Tend to wipe away the tears, but more keep coming my way. The goddess fox far above, pull yourself together, Richard. So silly. If it's so silly, why does my heart feel like it's been torn into a million pieces? Ron lifts his right hand and wipes away the tears. The first time I'm able to feel his bare hand, flesh to flesh, I can feel how calloused it is. All his body shows signs of wear and tear. Once the tears are gone, Ron hastily pulls away and gives me a reassuring smile.
Your Highness.
There was no need to shed tears over me, Richard. There's a battle behind each scar and a memory attached to every single one of them. Even with all the pain that you endured. He feels with his hands for a moment as he searches deep within himself to answer. I wish the pain would go away. Don't regret my time in the military one bit. After all, I was able to make a better life for myself, saved countless lives, and... Look of pain crosses his face, as memories flash in his mind, a spell he barely put on drops. Met people who've changed my life. Like Alexander, right? Looks away from me and grips his black leather pants tightly. Ron, who is Alexander? Why is it that every time you mention someone or think about the past, you look of regret and pain on your face? Is he that someone? Grab his hand and squeeze it tightly. Please, Ramon, I just want to understand, that's all. There's no judgment here. See me for who I am. I know what skeletons lie in my closet, with my family and where my thoughts lie. Think back to my brother and how he looked in the throne room earlier. His shoulders slumped and him cowered up against the wall. Such a stark contrast to the picturesque soon-to-be king, so used to seeing every day of my life. Ghost Foxer knows that I'm the last person who should be judging anyone. After my long-standing plea, I throw one more bone his way. A gentle smile and a quote that should bring him back to that night when my view of Ramon changed forever. So you're safe here with me. Just you and I, remember?
He was a fellow soldier in the Edton army. We met when I first enrolled. He quickly became my best friend, and then, in a few years, my lover. I never thought love would come my way. After all, I'd sworn it off once I joined the army, because I knew the outbreak that comes with the territory. But Alexander, that bastard snuck his way in. And before I could even stop it, I started falling for him.
One's eyes changed from one filled with pain to melancholic nostalgia. Corners of his lips turned into a bittersweet smile.
We were foraging for supplies, and our arms happened to brush. We both turned to each other, and like we both felt that spark. And then we kissed. It spiraled out of control from there.
Beautiful chuckle escapes in between his lips as he recounts the tale, one of love that will only end in heartbreak.
They made me believe love could survive the uncertainty of battle. And for a while, it did. We were happy and surviving.
One starts to bunch up and close in on himself.
But then, I hesitated.
One's eyes glisten with tears.
In my moment of hesitation, where my fear took over, Alexander took the it meant for me. And he paid for it with his life. I can't remember much after he passed in my arms. It's all blur. What little I do remember is blood-curdling screams, swinging my blade blindly, and feeling the blood on my face.
Ramon.
It's why I named my blade after him. Not only in honor of him, but so he'll always be by my side. Fighting like he should be.
Fuck, man. And the voice actor did a fantastic job on that delivery, though. And it definitely made me start tearing up myself. Then I shake his side and I can feel his body tremble as he exhales. All the baggage he's been carrying is finally being put out on full display. Seeing the emotional toll it's taken on him to revisit such painful memories yanks at my heartstrings.
I was set on not loving again, because I was so scared I'd let fear paralyze me. And I'd lose once more. Time passed. I was content with living as the lonely Grand Knight who filled his days with combat and ended it alone in his small cottage. That was until I was called by Lieutenant Stonevale for an urgent meeting in the throne room.
That day,
Your Highness, when I first met you, I only saw you as a trainee and King Solstice's child. But that night under the full moon, when you told me you trusted me, something changed in me. I started to feel comfortable around you. I felt a closeness that I haven't felt in quite some time.
heart begins to race. So he does feel the same way. Yet, my grip on his hand tightens, so I'm bracing for impact. There's this icky feeling in my gut that's telling me, don't jump for joy yet, Redshirt.
When I'm around you, I smile without even realizing it. I feel alive when I'm next to you. What?
There's always a but. Not the good kind of but either.
I'm scared to lose that again. I'm scared that you'll perish because of my inaction. I don't know if I can go through that again.
There it is. The heartstopper. Though I prepared myself for a rejection or hesitation, none of his words still hit me at full impact, like a dull, rusted dagger being forcefully stabbed into my heart. Squeeze his hand again, but he doesn't reciprocate. It's like he can't even feel my presence. Mon, I love you. Ready to brace whatever challenges may come our way if death were to befall either of us. That's not the other's fault. That day, Alexander put his life on the line to save you. How could you have known he'd do something so courageous? Had no control over that. He did it out of his free will, because he wanted you to live. He did it because he loved you.
Your Highness, please.
Voice is trembling, but I need to say it. Don't let anyone, not your family, not the people of Edton, or your fears, stop you in your pursuit of happiness. That's the advice you imparted onto me that fateful night. Since then, try my best to push my fears aside and live life to the fullest. Sure, I stumbled, but I'm not doing my damnedest to get back up and keep pushing forward. Can you encourage me to be happy, but you can't do the same? Isn't that hypocritical? Words came out harsher than I intended, but it's what grabs Ramon's attention as he stares at me, shock from the sun rising in my voice. All I want is for him to be happy. I want him to wear that godforsaken smile every day. And even if we don't go anywhere, when he's living life to the fullest would give me all the comfort I need. I need you to do the same. Can't let the past or your fears control you and stop you from being happy. He grimaces. Suddenly he stands up and yanks his hand from my grasp before hastily grabbing his top.
I need to go. I'm sorry, Your Highness, but I need to be alone so I can think.
Rise from my feet and touch his arm. Heart's aching and I want to say more. I don't want him to leave, but seeing those scars and knowing all the pain he's endured has yet to move on from. Even if it's decades of grief and sorrow that should have been dealt with long ago, who am I to tell a man that he needs to figure it all out now? If I was in his shoes, I'd want time alone too. He's trying to think, so be it. Throw a serious look his way. Okay, I'll give you time, but I'm not going to wait around forever, Ramon. Please be diligent and take care of yourself, okay? That was before rushing out of my room, leaving me alone to hear the crackling of the fire coming from my fire pit. I sat on the bed and lay my head in my hands. Please, Ramon, make the right choice. Even if that choice isn't a future with me, please make it. Man, I was not expecting to be crying over this game, but here we are. Next day I didn't see Ramon on the training grounds. Should have been surprised. Needed time alone and seeing me, even if it wasn't his duty to, could pull him in even more directions. I wouldn't be lying if I said it didn't hurt. Prince Solitus, it's good to see you. Hideo is out on leave for the next few days. Said he had something urgent come up. They assigned me to train you until his return. Oh, great, yeah. Also, why do I get the feeling that maybe, Sir Damon is potentially going up to that mountain to get me flowers? Doesn't need to go that way to do that for me, and put himself in danger, even though he's very much capable. His place was one of the Eton army commanders, a suitable replacement given the short notice. Based on how he carries himself, I can tell I'd learn a lot from him. Even his attitude is much friendlier. But he's not Ramon. I see. Trained and trained, but those days were more grueling than normal. Days would pass without a word from Ramon, or a sighting of it. Promised to give him time, but when no one could give me an answer as to where he was or what he was doing, second day I was paying a visit to his cottage. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Still no answer. I knocked one last time, loud and erratic enough to make my presence known to anyone who was inside, even if they were hard of hearing. Nothing. Where are you, Ramon? I have an inkling of where he went to. A few days later. Day 5 arrives and still no sign of Ramon. I understand needing time away, but to flee the city without so much as telling anyone where you went off to? What if something happens to him? No, that's silly. That's capable and strong. He ran out to, let's say, a secret place in the middle of the woods, without he'd fall victim to a man's blade or a wild animal. The other side lay down on my bed, staring up at the canopy. Think we were both here just earlier this week. Finally let down his walls and let me in. Now I don't know where he is. I was not the type of man to lay things unfinished, or the one to run away from a challenge. Return, but the question is, when? Only a few weeks left before we depart for battle. Don't have much time to let these feelings fester and be ignored. Let his personal demons continue to haunt him. Because who knows how this could affect him on the battlefield. Could it even end up in his downfall? Instead, he knocks at my door, puts a sudden stop to my train of thought. Who could be at my door at this hour? One of the maids, perhaps? Maybe his father or mother want to check in on me since my train is coming to an end. Yeah, right. Pulling myself up off the cozy soft bed, and throwing on a robe to cover myself up, sauntered towards the door and opened it to find... Atlas? No, I was hoping for Ramon, but I guess Atlas will do. Standing out in the warm stone hallway is my brother, swaying from side to side, looking antsy, twiddling his thumbs too. Gone is any air of confidence. If you didn't know any better, you'd think he'd never smiled a day in his life. Sibling, do you mind if we talk? The schedule has been jam-packed. I fear if we don't do it now, we won't have time for it before you depart for battle against Dastrius. Even his words are laced with anxiety. It seems like this is triggering every mental alarm in my head. What could he want to talk about? What's got him so riled up that it made him look like he's on the verge of a panic attack? I thought that I would relish in a moment like this. Finally, the heir to the throne has been knocked down a peg. But just like the other day when I spied it on him and father, there's no joy in seeing him like this. Look like a sad and malnourished puppy. All I feel is an indescribable, heart-rending sadness. I glance outside. The sun's risen soon. My training is scheduled to start. I still need to get ready. Turn back to my brother, who's looking at me with such puppy dog eyes that rather than irritating the ever-living hell out of me, pull on my heartstrings. Even after everything, how can I cast him aside when he looks like that? That's why he's doing it, 'cause he knows it will work. Of course, brother. Come on in, take a seat wherever you like. When he hears my gentle answer, the hope of a pleasant conversation causes him to perk up a bit. Walks into my room, carefully admiring the wares and decor, covering every inch of it. What, has he never been in this room before? The bedroom's changed a lot since you were a child. I've only ever seen just a sliver of it in the recent years, through the door crack, before you end up slamming the door in my face. Well, that answers my question. He tries to lighten the mood with a joke, accompanied by a dejected smile, but they do very little to actually make either of us feel better. When the joke fails to deliver on purifying the awkwardness, poisoning the air, he silently takes a seat on my bed as I do. What is it that you want to talk about? Do you hate me? Bro's upfront bluntness and question both catch me off guard. Mine goes blank. I mean, it's quite obvious, I think, in previously, but in recent days, I think that might have changed. What? Do you hate me, Richard? Peter's question again. This time, I can hear the desperation code in every word, or his every word. Sounds like a man at the end of his rope and is looking for someone to give him a lifeline. Seeing the way you looked at me over the years, every time I greeted you with a smile or gesture of kindness, you'd respond with a look of disdain and venomous words. And with you departing soon, I want the truth. It's true, I envied Atlas. Every time I saw him with mother and father, all I wanted to do was swap places with him. Because why does he deserve to be showered with so much affection and attention, just because he was the heir? Sometimes it felt like I didn't exist. When I did, I was an afterthought. Guess cushioned the blow, and so did the surface level conversations. And looking back at it, I see my parents concerned for my safety when I was asked to undergo training. A small part of me was relieved to see them showing genuine concern for me, but their rejection was at the cost of my happiness. It's difficult to make sense of, even now. But Atlas? I thought he could get everything so easily. After all, he's the reason I'm becoming a knight. That infuriated me. Why does his word matter so much over mine? Was my strong-willed desire not proof that I longed for it? How so unfair. At least that's what I thought. I saw him in the throne room speaking with father about his desire to hold off the wedding. Didn't see the irritating showboating Atlas. Become to envy, but rather so a dejected man who looked resigned to his fate. I saw me. I thought I hated you, Atlas. This time it's him who looks taken aback by my words. He stares at me confused. Was he expecting a simple flat-out yes? Guess our years of fighting really did make us grow apart. You thought? I nod. Good, if you want my unfiltered thoughts, I'll tell you them. For the longest, every time I looked at you, there was this unyielding, burning annoyance in me. Seeing your father and mother all the time, looking like you were at the top of the world, I wish I could have been in your shoes. As a second child, I felt like I was forgotten about. Didn't have any grand expectations for myself outside of the occasional reminder that I need to make sure I make this family look good. Every turn, I couldn't help but wonder what others thought of me. I could feel their stares and hear their whispers. It just made my anxiety play tricks on me. Still, while I struggled to find confidence within myself, you soared. Saw a man who, because of his upbringing, seemed like he was at the top of the world and could back it up. Passion comes out so fast like a waterfall. I'm fearful Atlas can't keep up with what I'm saying. Only when I see him nodding silently that I know he's at least absorbing the information. But then I learned it wasn't so simple. I overheard your conversation with father the other day about the wedding. I saw you arguing with him. I realized that in that moment that I didn't hate you, because there was a part of me that wished I could have reached out and comforted you. Other than being angry at me eavesdropping, Alice instead shakes his head and laughs. Even after all these years, you're still that nosy little child who I'd find sneaking around the castle at night, looking for something to do. Reassuring to know I still know something about you. A hint of gratitude in his voice. It's ironic hearing you admit all this, because for so long I'd been envious of you. I stare at him, wide-eyed, and point to myself. Me? He nods. You only ever saw the good, Richard. Grimaces. I feel suffocated by a parent's constant guidance, or surveillance, as I like to call it. Sure, my word has sway, but as you found out, it only goes so far. Marriage with Lady Melina is such a case. She is a wonderful woman. Intelligent, brutally honest, has the confidence of a goddess. But from our talks, she's made it clear she will never be interested in me for reasons I cannot change. I told her much the same. My heart lies with another. Shrugs and gives me a pathetic-looking smile. It's the ghost of his usual smirk. But that's the thing about with arranged marriages. It doesn't matter what the bride or groom wants, only the parents. Is that why you tried to talk to Father about it? He nods. Lena has outright refused to discuss the idea with her parents, and honestly, I cannot blame her. Marrying me, a man and king she knows well, offers her safety, but if the marriage were to be called off, I promised I'd be the one to do it. And, well, you can see where that got me. I frown. I knew it. So I'll need to talk to her and inform her of the news. Then we'll make plans on how best to move forward. That's why I'm envious of you. You have a kind of freedom I'll never get to experience. You're not shackled down to the throne. Have the weight of everyone, your family, the kingdom, and the future, on your shoulders. Move his fingers around, occasionally balling his hands into fists to release some anger. So jealous that you have less restrictions on your life. Honestly, seeing you act the way you do makes me want to punch a hole through the wall. And there have been many times I wish we could trade places. I see. Mine's willing for all this newfound information. Alice's true feelings and what his life is like behind all the glitz and glamour. Soul-crushing expectations, limited freedom, always needing to do what's best for the others rather than yourself. But there's one thing that doesn't make sense to me. If you're so jealous of me, Alice, then why did you help me? Places his hand on mine and squeezes them tightly. Because I want you to continue to live the life I cannot. What? The brotherly love for you has never wavered, Redshirt. Even if your stubbornness irritated me to no end. An immense amount of guilt washes over me. So all those times he come to visit and wished to talk to me came from a place of genuine love and curiosity, and I turned him away every time. How could I let my jealousy blind me? I'm so sorry, Alice. I've been a fool. I accept your apology, Redshirt. I can't entirely fault you, given what I know now. Let's not stay stuck in the past. There's such a short time before you depart for battle, us not end on such a sour note, just in case. Let's learn from this and forge a new path forward. He squeezes my hand tightly and flashes me his signature smile. It's warm and welcoming. Let's become the supportive siblings we should have been for each other all this time. Pressed out where I can let go of the lifelong animosity, I begin clinging on to and let loose inside these walls. Pull Atlas towards me and wrap my arms tightly around him. Let's out a loud oomph when his body harshly collides into mine. The sudden impact doesn't hurt me in the slightest. Yes, 1,000 times yes, Atlas. Slowly, I can feel his hands find their place on my back, and his head on my shoulder. He squeezes me tightly. Oh, thank the goddess above. Honestly, if you said no, and part of me was expecting you to, I'd be lost for words. There's only so much I can say. I'm running on very limited energy right now. It's not as we pull apart. Not that difficult to sway. Raises a brow. Here's to give you the light of day and eat what I brought up for you. You then ended up puking in the middle of training because of it. How do you know about that? He adjusts his robe and smirks at me like a cocky little bastard. So Dale told me. He used to talk to me, so I went to... So I went to the next best person. So that time he strolled in the castle for business, he was talking to Atlas. Often did these two talk. Must have been a lot if he knew of that incident, what caused it. All eyes and heave out a heavy sigh. God damn it, Raymond. Raymond? Caught in my mouth, but it's too late. It's heard me and he's smirking from ear to ear. Absolutely delighted to know that Raymond and I are at least no longer just mentor and trainee. What kind of training do you do exactly? I wish we could do a different kind of training, but I'm sure we'll be doing that later. Punching him in the shoulder, and he lets out a laugh. Get those foolish thoughts out of your head, Atlas. We only ever do combat training. Raymond and I are just a pause. So I don't know what we are. What exactly? I open my mouth to answer. Suddenly the door crashes open. Raymond, you're back. Suddenly, and in walks the man I've been in search for the past 5 days. Looking like he just came from a long, arduous hike. His breathing is pretty ragged as his chest heaves up and down in rapid succession. Dangling off his belt on his right side is a pristine-looking knapsack, looking much better than he does right now. Red shirt. His eyes widen when he spots Atlas in the room. My brother gives him the same bewildered look. Prince Atlas, I wasn't expecting to see you here. It's a pleasure to see you, Sir Dale. But have you ever heard of knocking? Bows his head in shame.
My apologies.
I apologize, sire. I've urgent business with. Before he could finish his sentence, I rushed on my bed and embraced Raymond with a hug so tight, he knows that I'd never want him to leave my side again.
Your Highness.
His voice is soft, and there's a hint of guilt to it. Wraps his arms around me and gives the same tight squeeze. Where the hell have you been? I understand you needed time away, but to leave the city? Are you mad? Do you know how worried I was? How hurt I was not knowing where you were? Pull away and he's looking at me with a guilt-ridden expression. I've realized that, yes, and for that I'm sorry, but there was something I needed to do, and I couldn't do it here in Edton. Alice points at me and then at Raymond, slowly connecting the dots in his head. Oh, I see exactly what you two are.
What?
Excuse me? Throws his hand up in the air and hops off my bed. Well, I suppose I should see myself out. I finished my business here. Alice whispers something into my ear. Hope you two can figure things out. How do you surmise that so quickly? Gives me a quick pat on the back before leaving my room, closing the door behind him as he does. Now it's just me and Raymond, standing here in the expanse of my bedroom as the rising sun begins to illuminate us both in this yellow glow. So you two talked, huh? I half expected our conversation to end in a bloodbath, but pleasantly it didn't. He smiles a bit and sees it after so long warms my heart. I'm glad, but contentment is short-lived once the gravity of why Raymond and Sia starts to sink in. We both lose our smiles and put on more serious demeanors. Let's talk. Raymond simply nods and we walk over to my bed. Take a seat on its edge, but he refuses to, preferring to stand in front of me instead. Be still, my beating heart. Putting my hands together, I take in a deep breath and slowly exhale through my nose, bracing for impact. So, Raymond, talk to me. For a moment the room is silent as the gears in Raymond's head turn as he trembles ever so slightly. Even after 5 days of being away, words continue to evade him. That's how a shaky breath before turning to look me in the eye.
Your Highness, after losing Alexander 29 years ago, I'd written off the possibility of falling in love again, and resigned myself to be content with being alone for the rest of my days. And for so long, I'd thought I was content. But every night, my mind would wander and explore. What if I'd done things differently? That day forever haunts me, because I'd lost someone who loved me for all that I am, and made my world brighter. I closed myself off, so that the possibility of that ever happening again would be 0 to none. Then, you stepped into my life. A bright light that lit up my dim world, and made me lose sight of the decades-long plan I had set out for myself.
Stop, you're gonna make me cry again. Getting down on one knee. Remember, reaches out and grabs my hand tightly.
Your Highness, you got this old heart beating again.
We definitely got mine beating.
When it's just us, my body and mind relax. My words come out so easily that even if my deepest, darkest secrets would have spilled out, I don't care how weak I come across, because I know it's you who's listening.
Oh,
I
stop
smile
it.
so freely that it's actually starting to hurt.
Squeezes my hands.
I'm happy whenever I'm around you. And when we're close, there's a voice at the back of my head that's screaming for me to wrap you up in my arms and put my lips on yours.
Do it. As once great Shia LaBeouf once said, just do it. Bites his bottom lip.
But I was too scared to. Because if I'd crossed that... But I was too scared to. Stuck in a vicious bear trap of fear that I laid out for myself. Because if I'd crossed that line with you, it means I'd have something to lose again. But once more, my world could be shrouded in darkness. I thought about it, long and hard. But what was right? I went to Alexander's grave and asked him what I should do. I told him how I felt about you, and that I was so petrified of losing you like I had with him. I wasn't sure if I could put myself through that pain again. And maybe it was just the trick of the howling winds up in the cemetery. But I thought I'd felt him tap me on the shoulder and whisper, "Go." Your Highness.
Goes inside his little knapsack and digs something out. When he reveals it to me, my eyes widen, come to stunned to speak. Hey, I knew it. I fucking called it. He went to go get the flowers. Get the flowers. Do you travel through the bandit-filled mountains to get me this?
You were right. I'd let my fears consume me and stop me from pursuing my own happiness. But no longer.
Pussy flower to his lips and kisses it ever so gently.
I love you, Your Highness. And I want you to take this Edelweiss as my vow to you that I live each day to the fullest. And do whatever I can to make us both happy. I promise that I'll no longer live in the past, but rather the present. Here, with you. My heart is yours.
My heart. And you definitely know how to get to somebody's heart, don't you, Raymond? Hands the flower off to me and I stare at it, and then at him, teary-eyed.
That is my answer. But what say you?
Oh, hell yeah! Give me the best option in the house. Fuck yeah! Gently putting the flower aside, grab Raymond's face and bring it to mine. finally closing the distance I'd been so desperate to be rid of. And at last, our lips touch. Those lips are chapped, perhaps from the long trip to the steep mountains. I don't care, because they feel just right on mine. I feel Raymond lean in and push me up against the side of my bed as the kiss deepens. Lays one gloved hand on top of mine, so he can feel more of me as we continue to kiss. Oh, look at him. God, he's so adorable when he's happy and smitten. God, he's so cute. Pulling apart, I smile at him as a content tear rolls down my cheek. And that's my answer, you dim-witted fool.
I'm glad. I'm so fucking glad.
Aww. And keep kissing me to make up for all those times you wish you had.
My pleasure.
Oh, hell yeah. Once again, we close the distance, and this time, kiss is more intense and ravenous. I send Snake down to my sides, run my arms around his neck, making sure to grip a full lock of his silky grey hair, as I pulled him deeper into me. Aaron goes my waist and lifts me up onto the cozy surface of my bed, kisses me one last time on the lips before starting a hot trail of kisses downward. Oh, we're going to there already. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to go this quickly. From my lips to my chin, then down my neck. Past my roof slightly so he can plant his lips there. Kissing my neck a few more times, and with each peck, bristles from his beard tickles me. Stop, it tickles.
Oh, but hearing you giggle like that makes me want to do it more.
My heart is full already, stop. I smile against the crook of my neck as he plants another kiss. Sends a delightful tingle throughout my body. I kick my feet up into the air. Playfully whack him on the head. Stop, seriously, Raymond. Of course I don't want him to actually stop. Kisses are like gentle caresses onto my skin. Each tiny peck makes me smile like an absolute fool. Chuckles before laying on his side next to me, pulling me close to him.
You're cute, you know that?
I can say the same for you, Raymond. Just cute, not gorgeous or sexy.
Oh, don't play that game with me. You're all free.
Plus... Gives my forehead a gentle, swift kiss.
I don't know if you can label being ticklish as sexy.
Can't speak for anyone else, though. Trace my fingers along his chest, right where the opening of his shirt is. Self-satisfying grin tugging at my lips. What do you find sexy about me, then?
Well...
Oh? Please with my rose silk sleeve.
I think you're sexy in everything you wear. And your determination is quite sexy indeed.
I actually find my stubbornness endearing. Goes my hand and kisses the back of it. Look at me with admiring eyes.
I never said it couldn't be.
I mean, fair point. Oh, that implies that that sometimes is a turn-off? Are you sure you really want to go down this road after all this kissing? Plants a soft kiss on his lips before tapping my index finger on them. You're a bit rusty when it comes to being smooth and charming, Raymond. But don't fret, I had no problem giving you a few lessons on that. Hell yeah. You can always teach an old dog new tricks, eh? His smile is so wide, his mouth wrinkles reveal themselves. Seeing the genuine carefree smile again makes me so damn happy.
That sounds lovely, Your Highness. Speaking of lessons, it's almost time for yours.
I groan. Really? Can we not stay like this for the rest of the day?
As much as I would love to stay in your embrace, it doesn't take precedence over your journey to becoming a soldier.
You do have a point, Raymond. Devious charming smirk graces his lips.
Besides, we can always smooch and cuddle later. And more, when we're both ready.
Hell yeah.
Now come on.
Getting off the bed, he pulls me up, and groan as I ascend upwards. kisses me on the lips and squeezes my arms. Get changed. I'll be waiting for you outside. Oh, you don't want to help me get changed? Okay, see you soon, Raymond. Holds onto my hand for as long as he can as he walks towards the door. Till the arm length distance pulls us apart. Closes the door behind him, I take that as my sign to start getting ready. Merely so that I don't have to be away from him any longer than I already have. That was so fucking sweet and cute, and I love it. God, these two are so cute together. Raymond makes his way to the training grounds out back. Alice is leaning against the stone wall of the hallway, arms crossed as he touches his foot lightly, as if he were waiting for someone. When Ray's footsteps get closer, the prince's eyes dart up and light up in excitement. Ah, just the man I wanted to see. Raymond stops dead in his tracks, chilling shiver running down his spine. Just earlier, Alice had caught him burst into his sibling's room and witnessed the two embrace. Surely that's why he'd be waiting for him. To discipline him? Prince Atlas, apologize for the disturbance I may have caused. Atlas holds up her hand, and the man with the eye patch immediately shuts his mouth. You only interrupted me having a rare bonding moment with them, which in any other world I would have reprimanded you for, but it smells so hard that his dimples show. There are more to come, so I won't scold you, nor will I punish you for capturing Redshirt's heart. Dark red colour dusts Raymond's cheeks. You're a good man, Raymond. I'm sure whenever you tell my parents of your little arrangement with Redshirt, accept you with open arms. You're a loyal man with a title. What more could they ask for? Knight bows his head. Thank you, Alice. Approval means the world to me. Crosses his arms and takes a few steps forward, causing Raymond to shoot up. But don't take that permission to do whatever you want, okay? Leans in, getting uncomfortably close. Uh-oh. Are we about to see Atlas's dark side? As if you so much as make my little sibling cry, mark my words that on the first day of my rule, I'll make sure to bring you back public hanging. Atlas, no, I get you want to be a big brother and the big brother protector, but please don't. We don't need any hangings. Ominous warning causes the Grand Knight to be paralyzed by fear. Prince leans away, Rune sees the sadistic smile on his face, causing him to sweat. Means what he says. He'll take great pleasure in ending his life if any harm were to come Redshirt's way. Understood, sire. A single swift clap motion, Alice's entire demeanor changes from one of deadly killer that will rattle anyone in their boots to the bright-eyed prince the entire kingdom has come to love. Excellent. Glad we're on the same page. Alice pats him on the back. No need to look afraid, Raymond. A man of integrity, so such a cruel fate won't befall you if you keep your wits about you. Have a nice day with my sibling. A joyful wave, Atlas walks away, steps being so light that it could almost be mistaken for skipping.
Ugh.
Who would have thought that Prince Atlas would be so frightening? Yeah, me either. A few weeks later, the night before Redshirt leads to a battle. Fireplace crackles ever so softly as Ramon and I lay on top of my bed, huddled up to one another. Legs are over his torso and an arm draped over his shoulder. Mindlessly massage his shoulder blade with my fingers, doing my best to release him of any tension. Feeling playing with my hair as he hums a tune ever so peacefully. So, do you think I'm ready?
My liege.
Of course, my liege. Why wouldn't you be? I shrug, doubt biting at me. Training ended a few days ago, and tomorrow we're set to make our journey to the heart of Utriel, to meet with those adventurers and whoever else they may be able to recruit. Done all that I could. Trained every day to sharpen my skills and learned what I could to improve myself, not only as a knight but as a person as well. It's really starting to hit me that my first ever battle, world-changing one that is drawing near. Before I know it, I'll be face to face with Dastrus, his army of undead creatures, who are hell-bent on covering Utriel in complete, agonizing darkness. Just yesterday, I went out with Raymond and the rest of the army to enjoy a feast that my parents held. But the evening started out pleasant with laughs and cheers from the air as we downed delectable food and drinks. Tones shifted once more, wine bottles were emptied. Fueled by the alcohol, some started to unravel and began to panic, wondering if we could stop the godly threat. Even some of the veterans had their doubts. Rather than the high-ranked knights managed to rally them up again. The evening continued as normal. But that one moment of weakness stayed with me. That outside. It's also nerve-wracking.
My liege.
What are you pondering? Just scared, that's all. So much riding on this fight that I can't help but be nervous, you know. Raymond cuts my chin and tilts my head upwards so that I'm looking at him in the eye. With his brows forward, there's an unwavering confidence there.
I know you're going to do everything it takes to make sure we win and see the days ahead. You're strong and capable.
Oh, well, thank you, Raymond.
And until you come face to face with our foe, stay here in this moment with me.
Oh, hell yeah, we are absolutely doing that. The incident gives me a passionate kiss that instantly melts away all the worry clouding my head, or my mind, placing it with lovely, rejuvenating thoughts of just him and me. Press my forehead forward, deepening our kiss. Tongues twist and turn in each other's mouths. Our hands start to maneuver around the other's body, looking for any way to heighten the experience. Oh, we can definitely heighten something, alright. Aaron bites down on my bottom lip, sending a pleasurable shiver down my spine as he continues to crush his lips against mine. I snake up the bottom of his shirt, filling up his well-defined muscles and scars. Fingers linger on his various stretch marks before moving on to the next, making sure he knows that I know they add to his beauty. Finally, Ruben attempts to throw off his shirt, but his arms get tangled up in the various layers he has on. A couple of kisses made you forget how to undress making.
Well, they are from you. And your kisses are such a tantalizing treat that I often lose all sense of myself.
Here, let me help you. Hell yeah, we get to see his pectorals once more. Although it's kind of obscured by the text box here. My assistants, we managed to finally get that blasted top off so I can see his sculpted, glistening body. Sam would never get old, Raymond. 20, 30 years from now, I'll still be taken aback by you, clothes on or not. The moment he stares at me as he takes in my words. Then he smiles softly. Pulls me close to him again, start kissing once more, implanting kisses on my neck, and at some point during the exchange he disrobes me, leaving me only in my undergarments. Now this. I feel his hands slowly make their way down my body, feeling my voluptuous curves. His tender touch makes me feel so powerful on my skin, more than I already did. Can't help but smile once I feel his hands rest on my waist. Plus a kiss on the crook of my neck. This is sexy. I can feel my face flush in embarrassment, and I giggle a bit as he plants more kisses across my chest. Eventually he stops and props himself back up to look into my eyes, contemplating something. Whatever that something is causes his cheeks to turn pink. What is it?
My liege, I wanted to ask. Since we won't be able to experience the pleasures of a bed for a week or so, how would you feel about me staying the night?
Oh, hell yeah, well, you can. Spend the night with me, huh? And that sounds like an idea I like. But, of course, when lovers are alone in bed, they're gonna do more than just sleep. We can have a cuddle session or sleep with him. Well, both are good options. I mean, we could do both. We can sleep with him and then have the cuddle session afterwards, so... Well, you know I had to go with the first option. Lick my lips with anticipation at the thought of our bodies colliding together. And us screaming each other's name in pleasure. So loud that everyone in the castle would know we belong together. Great. Him finally kissing below my collarbone and his hands masterfully navigating my entire body, just knowing which areas to squeeze to send me to the heavens. Making my intentions known, climb my hand ever so downwards, locking at the hem of his pants. Of course, but is that all you're going to do? Just keep me company? Seeing my expression, Rima's cheek darken even more.
I can certainly do more than that.
Oh, hell yeah. His voice is laced with lust and anticipation. I can feel this anticipation poking at my leg. Hell yeah. Smash her lips against his, devouring his taste. Even during our here passionate kiss, throws off his pants and tosses them aside, leaving him only in his trousers. God, why do you guys have to have so many layers? What are we, Shrek's onion? My hand snakes down his boxer brief, raising its length, moves softly against my lips and gives me a desperate kiss.
I want you.
Oh, I can definitely tell you want me. I can definitely feel it, that's for sure. Voice comes out as a loud, low growl, similar to that of a beast that's ready to pounce and devour its prey. Now, I certainly want him to go ravenous on me, so we're both aching in this moment. Glad we're on the same page then. Now the question is, who's going to take control? I was not expecting this kind of options, but... okay, we can either let Raymond dominate you, or we can become the dominatrix and dominate him. Yeah, sure. Dominate me. Hi. Well, hello there. Pushing me down on the bed and is topping me instantaneously smirking.
You look absolutely divine. I can't wait to finally learn how such a delectable meal tastes.
I am definitely going to need to have a cold shower after this. Gives me a waist a good hard squeeze and I let a pleasant moan. Raymond. Whine out his name as he kisses my neck, giving it a good suck each time so he'll leave bruises for everyone to see the next morning.
I want everyone to see what I've done to you.
Well, you can do whatever you want to me, sir. Puts his mouth on mine, biting my bottom lip and giving it a nice swipe with his tongue.
My liege, let's see how long you can last with me in control.
Okay, I need a moment to compose myself. Holy shit, dude. I mean, it did say that he was going to dominate me, but I get flustered very easily with these kinds of situations. Though I wanted it. Starts to trail kisses downwards.
Because I don't plan on going easy on you.
I ain't complaining, Raymond. Make sure to maintain eye contact with me as he pulls my brace off, feeling my arousal to him. All I can do is lay there with plain eyes that are asking him to continue. Brings himself forward and traces his fingers along my jawline before settling on my chin. He comes and leans forward to where my lips are just grazing in my ear. A soft chuckle sends a delight shiver down my spine.
Now, watch me as I drink and savor every last drop of yours.
Well, that is definitely going to be a fun night. Oh, that was it. I think I need a moment to compose myself. And no, I'm not gonna do stuff like that.
12 seconds later.
Okay, anyway. Today's the day. Today's the day I'm going to leave for battle. First ever battle, and to think is against someone with godlike powers. Can't believe you're already leaving us, Redshirt. Atlas wipes a tear from his eye and shakes his head. Can't believe my little baby is going to war. It was already a complete sobbing mess. Closes her mouth to hold back a mournful whine. Clutches into my father, who manages to stabilize her. My dear, they'll be fine. They've gotten the best training our army can offer. They'll do us proud. Oh, we definitely got some good training. Especially last night. But the world is so cruel. This enemy is unlike anything we've ever seen before. Who knows what lies in wait for them? Let's start crying. Father, with a rare compassionate look that he only reserves for his dearest, rubs her back gently. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Thankfully, she is not the only one crying. Some saved some level of embarrassment. Seeing the rest of the soldiers, new recruits are saying a tearful goodbye to their families, spouses, and friends. The way that some of them embrace and look at each other, it's clear that only death and ruin are on their minds. It pulls at my heartstrings to see some of them feel so hopeless.
Listen carefully.
I assure you, King and Queen of Solstice, your child will return to you in one piece. That's my vow to you. Tear-stained woman throws herself at my partner. She grabs his hands, shaking them up and down gratefully. Raymond just stands there with an awkward smile, unsure of how to handle such adoration. Oh, thank you, Raymond. Goddess Fox to bless you. Alice turns to me with a serious look in his eye. Promise me you'll come back alive and not in a carriage full of corpses? Of course, brother, I promise. He glares at Raymond. And you? Raymond pounds his chest and gives my brother a steely look.
Yes.
I promise to make sure they're right back safely. That's not what I meant. I want you both to come back. A package deal. It means you both need to watch out for one another. Squeeze Raymond's hand and he looks up at me with a reassuring smile that can only help me picture a brighter future. Future where we both bite the other side until he is on his deathbed, dying peacefully from old age, and groping his withered hand with tears in my eyes as we happily reminisce until his last breath.
We promise.
Hell yeah. In order to guarantee the future I can see in Raymond, I need to get to lengths I never thought I would for love. Trickery, deceit, and slaying down my foes. Blood will be on my hands. That's something that changes someone. But for him, I'll do it. Because our love was life-changing. It's undeniably special. And for those reasons, it's worth protecting at every cost. Particularly... Oh, wait, that's it? I was thinking we still had more scenes, but that was it. I mean, it's probably good as I don't want to have to deal with the whole war scenario, because that'd be probably really depressing. I mean, war in general is very depressing, but yeah, man, I really liked that. I enjoyed it. Never thought I'd be into Raymond, but my god, was I fucking into him. And we were definitely fucking into him towards the end there. Definitely not complaining about that, but my god, that was very well done. The art was great, the storytelling was fantastic, and the voice actor for Raymond did an absolutely fantastic job. But yeah, that was Your Blade in My Heart. I really enjoyed that. If you guys want to play this for yourself and yeah, check it out, as always, the link will be in the description below. There's also one with using a spicy watermelon, like that. But yeah, with that, I guess we'll be ending it off here. Where was this scene? We definitely didn't see them. I think that one's from Colin Sesh, but okay, I was not expecting that. Oh, I think it might have been from when if we had chosen the dominating him instead, but game has a lot of surprises still.